Let me read you a Reader's Digest version of an article I read by Rick Sterling. It's titled From Dallas to Gaza. It's how JFK's assassination was good for Zionist Israel. Now, this is from a couple of years ago, and I'll link it in the description box because there's an entire timeline between JFK and a couple of Israeli prime ministers.
So, like a curious traveler on a quest, we embark upon a journey of information. Stay with us for a ride into knowledge.
President John F. Kennedy was killed over 60 years ago. If he had lived and been reelected, the conflict between Israel and Palestine might have turned out differently. His presidency could have helped prevent some serious issues in Gaza. During his time in office, Kennedy changed how the U.S. dealt with other countries. He pushed back against the CIA and military leaders and had different plans for countries in Asia and Europe. Many conflicts, like the Vietnam War, wouldn't have happened if he had continued to lead. Kennedy also disagreed with the military goals of Israel, which had only been a country for about 13 years at that time. There was still a chance for peace talks about Palestinian refugees from the events of 1948. And when Israel attacked Egypt in 1956, the American government demanded Israel stop. They followed instructions. And in the early 60s, some reported Jewish people spoke out against the racism and unfair treatment by the Israeli government. Israelis like Martin Buber criticized the leader Ben-Gurion, reminding everyone that when the country was created, it was promised that Arab people would have equal rights with Jewish citizens. Many influential people in Israel knew that for the country to be safe and successful in the long run, they needed to reach a fair agreement with the Palestinian people, who were there first. And in the U.S., Jewish people had different opinions, and some were against the idea of a Jewish nation. The American Council for Judaism spoke out against nationalism. Israel had not yet fully shown its racist and military side, and American Jews' support for Israel was not guaranteed. Now, when Menachem Begin visited in the U.S. in 1948, he was criticized by well-known Jewish leaders, including Albert Einstein, who called him a terrorist with extreme nationalist and racial beliefs. And many American Jews felt unsure about Israel, while some supported it only if there was peace with the local Palestinian population. Kennedy's politics were different in four main ways from what happened after he was gone. Kennedy was not biased in favor of Israel. Kennedy wanted the Zionist lobby to follow the rules. Kennedy supported Palestinian rights, and Kennedy tried to stop the Israeli nuclear weapons program. But this was the biggest disagreement between Kennedy and Israel making nuclear weapons. This was kept secret for a long time, and important papers about it were only made public recently. President Kennedy really wanted to stop the spread of nuclear weapons. And after the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, he understood how easily a huge nuclear war could start. And if more countries got nuclear weapons, the chances of a big disaster would increase. It was also thought that if Israel got nuclear weapons, they might become more aggressive and less willing to make peace regarding Palestinian refugees. It went downhill from here concerning inspections and timing of them, but Israel stalled as in waiting on intervention. Now, after JFK was made unalive on November 22nd, things changed with LBJ as president. Johnson told Israel, "You lost a good friend, but now you got a better one." Basically, Lyndon Johnson was overly friendly to Israel, way more than anyone before him. He pretty much sided with Israel against the Arabs. JFK had wanted to check out Israel's nukes, But Israel didn't let him, and the place went live really quick. And when the U.S. finally got to inspect, they couldn't see any of the imported parts. And under LBJ, things with Egypt went sour. The U.S. stopped giving Egypt money and started hating on their leader, Nasser, because that's what Israel wanted. The U.S. stopped caring about Palestinian refugees. The Justice Department tried to make some Jewish groups register as foreign agents like spies, but they gave up when LBJ's new guy, Katzenbach, took over. These groups didn't want to sign up, but offered to share money and info instead. They complained that other groups said that they were just pushing Israel's agenda. Katzenbach came, negotiations kept going, and finally the Justice Department said they didn't have to register at all. Later, a pro-Israel group got a tax break from the U.S. government, going all the way back to 1953. That was AIPAC. And Israel got nukes. They got tough and refused to help the Palestinian refugees. Getting intel from the U.S., Israel attacked Egypt, Syria, and Jordan in 1967. This was that Six-Day War. It was a big deal. Israel won fast and easy. People in the West suddenly thought Israel was amazing and strong. Jewish folks in America loved Israel more than ever. Israel even got cocky. They attacked a U.S. Navy ship, USS Liberty, during the war, killing U.S. soldiers and hurting more. The idea was to sink the ship, blame Egypt, and get the U.S. mad at Egypt and Russia. And Johnson stopped the U.S. military from helping the ship, saying he didn't want to embarrass Israel. So they covered up the whole mess for years. We do not know for sure what might have happened had JFK not been assassinated. But it is possible that Israel would have been stopped from acquiring the bomb. Without that, they may never have had the audacity to launch the 67 attacks on their neighbors, seizing the Golan Heights, West Bank, and Gaza Strip. And if the Zionist lobby had been required to register as a foreign agent, their influence might have been moderated. Perhaps Israel could have found a reasonable accommodation with Palestinians in one or two states. Instead, Israel hardened into an apartheid regime, committing increasingly outrageous massacres. As Kennedy warned in 1960, Israel has become a garrison state, surrounded by hate and fear. The assassination of John F. Kennedy ensured Zionist control of Israel and the suffering for Palestinians and permanent instability. Just more food for thought.
Thanks for watching this and all our videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until we meet again, stay curious, fellow travelers, and have a great day.